Well, we're live now. We're live now, apparently.
We're live now.
We are live.
There's about a 30-second delay when it drops
Okay,
onto
good.
YouTube.
Good. That way people can we can get the kinks out.
Yes, exactly.
And the kinks.
So
the
yeah,
kinks an hour.
I woke up 15 minutes ago. Well, probably about half an hour ago now. I'm like, oh, I got a show in 15 minutes.
I had to lie in my son's floor all night in order to keep him asleep. So I woke up. He woke me up about 6:30 because he had a pee through. So I had to change his clothes.
Yeah.
And then I brought him into our bed, and he was ready to be awake then. So my wife took him, and I got to sleep till about 9. So that was nice.
That's not too bad, is it? But we're actually. I'm really excited about doing live YouTube ones. I don't know how they'll work because you and I have done them over the decade where they're not live. I mean, we've done them in front of stages and audiences and stuff.
Yes, we're pros.
Podcasting kind of intrigues me about just jumping on. Certainly, like on my iPad, that's why my angle's a bit weird because I guess I need a different stand or whatever. And we're used to fancy backdrops and all backgrounds and all that. None of that's gone. We're going low key today.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a green screen behind me for next time.
Yeah,
and fix that out, or just get a silly film banner behind me. I think that's what I'll do.
I'm gonna have a word with my mate James Cameron and let me film it in the volume.
Jimmy
Cameron. Yeah, he's not busy making them Pocahontas remakes or whatever.
Jimmy C. We've got 2 people watching, and I hope it's not just me and you.
Yeah, well, you know,
if you're watching, leave a wee comment below. Let us know who you are, where you are. No, this is best screenplay.
Ooh. And here's a silly question because were that an Oscar? Sometimes you have to give awards back, don't you? But
oh no, this is mine forever.
That's yours.
That's mine. And it was funny because I wasn't like, oh, we're going to win. It's like it was genuinely just nice to be there. And filmmaking, as well as social media, can be a toxic place, and it can be full of negativity, and it can be full of boo-hiss. But when there must have been about, I don't know, over 100 people in the Marylebone Theatre in London. They showed a couple of short films that had won before, or the guy who created the awards, he showed his film from like 5 years ago that's just been bought by Disney.
Nice.
And he said that Disney pay very well, so I want to get Faithful in front of Disney. But as soon as everyone was really supportive and like cheering people on, like it was a really nice night, really nice atmosphere. It's like, oh, filmmaking offline is actually a lot better than filmmaking online. Because I've got a story that ties in with Is Social Media Dead, which I'll tell in a minute. But the best screenplay award wasn't given out to the second half, so they did like a short film, a bunch of awards, and a break. Then we came back, short film, and then more awards. And as soon as I started to see these, I turned to Lucy Linger, our director, Lucy Linger, hard to say in a Scottish accent. I said, I'm nervous now. And she went, why? I went, well, now that I've seen them, I want it.
Yeah.
And it's hefty.
Like if it was a certificate or something, that'd still be cool. But you'd be like, oh yeah, still. Nice. I'm not. It looks, like one of them. You're like, I really want one of them.
And I do. We've got one for best costume somewhere for a 40-hour film project that we did. The one that I didn't like the most is the one that won 2 awards.
Yeah.
Because I think Simon Weir won best actor, I think, or something along those lines, or like
nice.
Best cat. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's a photo of him in a kilt somewhere holding his plaque on a bridge. Matters not a jot. He's doing very well for himself. But this is proper heft.
Yeah.
And then when they read out the Faithful as the winner, like Lucy turned to me and said, "That's the name of our film." And I was like, "Yes, it is."
Yeah.
And it's a shame because I didn't write anything. I didn't write a speech because I didn't think we were going to win.
Always write a speech. I think you've learned that now, haven't you?
Yeah, because I just rambled and I stayed awake all night that night thinking of what I should have said. And I probably just came across as like an obnoxious Scotsman. And I feel terrible about that. But I have since posted on the socials to say, and I've tagged in the British Short Film Awards just to say how grateful I was.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's all good. But
that's good.
I remember when we were raising money for Faithful on Kickstarter, and there's a group called Scottish Filmmakers and Actors. And for the longest time, I stayed away from it because it was just a cesspit. Yeah. But it started to get better. And we're paying, and before we weren't paying people because we didn't have any money. Now we pay people, hence the raising money.
Yeah.
And we announced that Greg McHugh was going to be in our short film. And Greg has been in Gary Tank Commander and Fresh Meat and The A Word. He's got a new show out now called Only Child on BBC. And as soon as we announced him, some guy called Richard donates a fiver to the Kickstarter just to leave horrible comments. And the only way it came from would have been from that group. So I was like, well, we're done with that group again.
It's
That
a
group's
weird one,
gone.
isn't it? Because it's like, I mean, we're probably going to touch upon horrible comments quite a lot
Social
in
media.
this next 40 odd minutes or whatever. But I think if you're the sort of person that wants to leave horrible comments, it's weird that you go, oh, I'm going to pay somebody else so I can be horrible.
Yeah,
That's an odd one.
I'm going to pay you for the privilege of abusing you.
I mean, if somebody said to me, right, I'll give you money, as in somebody will give me money to leave horrible comments on this film, I'd be like, how much money are you offering?
Yeah, no, you have to go higher.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price.
You have to go higher. If you
got to go higher. You got to put a few more zeros in there. And,
if you drop
after
them
the
$5
decimal point.
Yeah, $5 would have been.
But if somebody said, how would you like to leave rotten comments on Fraser's film? I'm like, how much you pay me? Oh, no, you pay me. I'm like, I ain't doing that then. What's the point? No, not good. But if somebody wants to pay me like £1 billion or £1 million to leave a snotty review for Faithful, I've got to admit, I'd have to think about it. I'd probably split the money with you.
Oh yeah,
go, Fraser,
money.
do you mind if I troll you for like a week? You'd be like, go for it. I can fund a few more films after
fund the next film. So yeah, it's social media. Social media is a bad place. Like, and I think it peaked at lockdown. I was thinking about this, and I think it's lockdown because before lockdown, during lockdown, everybody got together on social media. Like there was like the community cast got together and did a script read through on Zoom to raise money. Steve Martin, Martin Short, all that mob did a Favre the Bride 3 short film to raise money. The Doctor Who community all got together to watch old episodes, and they got actors and writers and creators to tweet along with it. And that was cool, and that ran and ran and ran, and it was just this great sense of community. But now it's just a place for racism, transphobes, homophobes, anything with a phobe, just to attack you. And you just have to look at and never click on the comment section. You just have to look at the Captain America 4 premiere in London.
Yeah.
And you click on the comments, and it's just a whole bunch of racist Marvel fans.
So here's the question, because I set this topic. I mean, the question was slightly different. So if people wonder why the thumbnail's slightly different from the question, it's because the broadcast went wrong first, so I had to quickly set up another one.
My fault.
Is a set a question, and then I think I already know the answer. It's like, yeah, it is. Blah, blah, blah. And then in the run up to the conversations that we're having, I kind of think about it more, and then I sort of meet towards the middle. So initially, as social media, has the bubble burst? Did it peak? Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, the bubble was burst. And then I'm like, oh, has it though? Or is it the algorithm that's doing it? And that's my question. It's not me saying yes. I mean, the algorithm's certainly got a lot to answer for. But as you said, I think humanity's behavior, and obviously not all of humanity, but a lot of humanity, their behavior changed during lockdown and post lockdown.
Yeah, people got mean and arrogant and ignorant,
angrier
and angry,
and also they got a lot more disbelieving of everything.
Yeah.
And I noticed a shift in people's behavior, because I did customer service for like 6 years, and that was right through lockdown and a couple of years after lockdown. And I noticed a change in people's behavior, the way they would come in and go, I've got a problem. They would come in initially years ago and go, I've got a problem. Can you help me out? Of course I would. And then during lockdown, they were the same, but they were a bit more urgent. I really need it. I can't go out to the shops. Okay, get it. Let me have a look and see what this problem is. And then post lockdown, they were like, you lot suck. You're all terrible. I hope you all die, all this sort of stuff. And you're like, okay, have you got a problem I can help you with? And then eventually you would get to the problem and you would fix it for them. But they just got more demanding, more angry, more negative. So there was definitely a shift in human behavior on that. So a lot of the internet, I think, is doing that. But also the algorithm fuels, and we see this with media things. Gone are the days when there's a new DC film that came out and it did 60 million this weekend. Now it is DC comes out and flops bad with 60 million. Or which big movie flopped this weekend?
Yeah.
So you go, I need to click on that, see what there's feeding on people's negative curiosity. This is the main media outlets.
It's clickbait.
Clickbait. Yeah,
It's
clickbait's really got bad now.
like I on a regular basis have to erase my search history and my watch history on YouTube. That sounds dodgy, but it's because I've got a wife and child. There's nothing dodgy, but what the reason I have to do that is because under my recommended will come Doctor Who, Woke, Experiment Fails, Disney Who, Crash, Tootie Quits, Russell T Davis, Ate My Cat. You know, there's all that sort of stuff.
Oh, he's a cat eater, is he? I've heard
Oh
about it.
right,
There's a lot
right.
in
He wouldn't.
America,
Yeah, he wouldn't
apparently.
eat dogs. So you know, Chris Chibnall broke into my house and stole my homework. You know, it's all that sort of stuff, and it periodically comes up, and it's same with Star Trek or any sort of movie, or like it's just all of that stuff just pops up, and I'm just like, why? Why is this happening? Why? And it's so I don't click on these things. I purposely don't. But in order to like not see it anymore, you have to go onto their channel and go into their settings and click don't recommend.
Yeah.
And even still, it pops up, and you're talking your Nerdrotics, you know, that kind of guy, and his his kind of guys all kind of pile on. And do you remember when Doctor Who was coming back, the Twitter interactions you and I had with people
Yeah.
because we dare supported this new era of Doctor Who, and we just got absolutely piled upon for even liking it, and it puts you off. And it's not Doctor Who specific; it's fandom specific. Like I'm finding it now difficult to enjoy stuff because
Do you genuinely find it difficult to enjoy stuff?
I don't find it difficult to enjoy watching a thing, but I now much less say on social media. I saw this thing and I enjoyed it.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite because it's like I would love a good fight online, and I don't tend to. I
But
don't troll
they
people.
never fight you though.
They don't. I don't troll people, so I don't go like, "Oh, Madam Web is better than Citizen Kane" or whatever. But I genuinely enjoyed Madam Web. I saw the backlash for that. I watched the film. I liked it. Is it in my top 10 of the year? No, it's not. Am I going to run out and buy it on Blu-ray or DVD? No, but I enjoyed watching it, and at some point I'll probably watch it again. And I did a review going, I liked it. Blah. I'm like, come on, nobody came. Somebody'd come after me saying I was wrong that I liked it, but that was like a whole troll war that lasted about 20 minutes until I got bored and I'm like kind of done. But
Didn't someone say you were wrong for liking a Star Wars thing because you weren't a true fan or something?
I think it was The Acolyte. Yeah, I think it was part way through watching The Acolyte, and I'm like, I like The Acolyte. I don't love it. It's not my favorite Star Wars, but it's fine. It's, I'm watching it on a streaming platform that's I'm paying £5 a month for. It's okay. But yeah, they come back at you and just go, "You're wrong." It's like, well, I'm not wrong, but so that's clearly the people's behavior that's wrong because that's not an algorithm that's making somebody come back and type, "How dare you like Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire? You're wrong. You're an idiot, and you're clearly not a Ghostbusters fan." We saw a lot of that stupidity with Frozen Empire.
Yep, and I've got them all down there in Steelbook. I've got 1, 2. I've got Afterlife, Frozen Empire, and Steelbook, and I've got the 2016 reboot because I like the 2016 reboot.
Claire Bueno's book.
Yep.
Look how thick that is. I can't get used to where the camera is on the iPad. Look how big that is. That's huge. Look at it. Tallest.
Based on the documentary Cleaning Up the Town, which I also have down there on
They are doing a sec. Did you see the tweets that they were sending? Oh no, you don't go on Twitter as much, which we sure cover as much within this conversation. But they are prepping the second one. It's coming out pretty soon.
So Too Hot to Handle.
Yep. So we're getting it. And there's a book coming out about it as well because Claire told me.
Good. I love Claire and Anthony. Like they're such good fans. Like I love them. Hence, I mean, I'm obviously a fan. My Proton pack's down there.
Well, you're Ghostbusting. I'm Exorcisting this morning.
Nice. My pack's dead because my son loves me to switch it on and he dances to the theme tune and the battery has now died and I've just not had time to plug it in. So he comes up to it and dances it. Just stop telling people. Ironically, stop telling people we're wrong. Like there's a great meme, and it's like, shh, let people enjoy things.
Yeah. But I was listening to a podcast called The Hollywood Outsider, which is one of my regular podcasts I listen to. And they did last year, I think Aaron, the host, had watched, and I've forgotten the name of the film, but it was starring Amber Heard.
Right.
Oh no.
Post
trial. right? Post-traumatic. So there's like everybody's like trying to put her in a wicker man and all this sort of stuff. Burn her, she's a witch, and all that
Burn
type
the
of
witch.
silliness. And he'd watched the film, and he liked the film. He's like, the film's fine. And do you know what? Amber Heard was good in it. So and he tweeted out, I watched this film and I enjoyed it. And Amber was great in it. And he was talking about how he got an onslaught of just trolls coming out of nowhere. So I'm like, I want some of this. So I tracked the film down and I watched the film and I wrote a full page review on my website. Really good film. She was really good in the role. Perfect casting. Blah blah blah. Nothing. Not one snotty comment. Not one snotty. I was tweeting this thing everywhere for like a week. Going, come on,
Nothing.
come after me, because I love to
Nothing.
defend.
But
I
have
love
you
to
not,
be the one person who can look at a film and say, do you know what? I liked it.
but have you not noticed though that engagement on Twitter in particular is just down the hole?
Yeah.
Like I could, during lockdown we raised over 20 grand on Kickstarter for the origins of the Leox Israel.
Yeah.
For Faithful and Death Whatever, I am so limited on engagement on Twitter.
Is this, do you think, I think it's for two reasons. I think
Number one,
Elon Musk. I think a lot of people are mad at him. For there's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, we're not
dude,
like,
stick to making space rockets. You're good at that. You're good at the technology stuff, the space rockets. Go do that.
yeah, go away.
Stop trolling people and sticking your face into foreign governments and going, I know how to do it better. You don't, so shut up. But fair play to you. You know how to make rockets, and you know. So I think a lot of people are mad at that, mad at him, understandably in a lot of cases. But I think the main reason is there's just too many damn social media platforms.
Yeah, because remember when Twitter was on the way out when he bought it, there was like Mastodon, and there was like a fair few of them all popped up, and we all jumped on all of them, and then they all just died. I've still got some installed on my phone that I've just not looked at in a very long time. Blue Sky's doing well.
Blue Sky's doing okay. I have at the minute, because I remember MySpace. That was probably the first social media network. But that would be something you would go online in the morning or in the whenever you'd go, I'll just check my MySpace page.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the message. I would type a journal.
And off you go.
Journal entry. Doink, and and have a few interactions, and then I'd go about my day. Then Facebook came in, and you go, I might join on this Facebook thing. I don't know if that'll take off because we've already got MySpace. Blah, blah, blah. We're fine. Facebook's still sticking around. But again, you would just go on periodically. But now a lot of the social media channels, certainly Twitter/X, they're all rapid. You've got to be on them or you're going to miss something. So people, and I've been there and done that, where you will spend all day just, I need to do, you'll spend hours just scrolling through. But now I've got X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky,
LinkedIn,
TikTok to a certain extent. YouTube, I guess, falls into a social media type thing, but not fully, although the comments thing, there's too many of them. And it's like, if you think I'll just check my social media, that's an hour gone.
That's an hour.
Once you check them all. There's too many of them. And because there's too many of them, people are over there. You said Blue Sky's good. So I'm like, Fraser's on Blue Sky. I need to go on Blue Sky because I need to see what Fraser's up to. I need to see what Lucy's up to. I need to see what Faithful's going on with Faithful and stuff. But you don't use X as much.
I don't use any of them as much because I've got to a place now where I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
It's too toxic. Like, it's too, like, the minute you log on to Twitter, I don't know if this is the same as you on your phone, it doesn't go onto your feed of the people you follow. It goes on to the recommended for you.
Yeah, you've got to tab over them.
And it is trash. It's absolute trash. It's people bitching about everything. Oh, that's not my Captain America. My Captain America comes in white and blonde only. And then... And they, you've got all that, and I know Doctor Who's dead, blah, blah, blah. And I just go, you know what? I don't... Oh, the cat's being sick, so that's fun. I don't... And it'll be on our bed. So that's wonderful. A wash. And in front of me, 3 full cloves eaters, and I've still got a toddler full of clove basket thing, and our basket is just about shutting. And that's where we're up to. Anyway, so that'll be another thing that has to go in the wash tonight.
Yeah.
That's my producer Valerie just letting me know that she's contacted some bars to film Deaf Whatever in, so that's fun.
Yes.
But I just can't be bothered. It's just too tiring for me. I just can't. You can't negotiate with terrorism. You
No,
can't.
that's right.
You can't.
I always, yeah.
No matter
We've
what
had,
you say, so when Doctor Who came out and the viewing figures were less than favourable, and you were giving them point by point breakdowns of the other shows in that time slot, how they were doing, blah blah blah. You were presenting them with stone cold facts, and they go, "Still not true. The show's dead." I'm like,
yeah.
"Mm."
It's
So-
and I think that's the problem with the world in general. But certainly, social media is flaring up. It's very it's binary now. It's, are you Xbox or PlayStation? Are you DC or Marvel?
I'm
Are
both.
you
I'm
know?
both. I've
You
got.
can't be both. You got to pick one.
No, I like.
And whichever side you go, well, I like that one. The other side will come after you and go, "You're an idiot." And if you could go, "Well, I'm not an idiot because look, here's the quality scores of the stuff I like," and I had it made up. Let me see the quality scores of the stuff you like. Okay, these are the genuine numbers. You like,
Yeah,
you can't win those people over.
and
But I think social media still has got power.
yeah, but it's being like it's empowering the wrong sorts of people. That
Yeah,
and people are definitely being shadow banned. Like, I mean, that's Zuckerberg got rid of like fact checkers and news sources. So now it's your Auntie Karen, who is an expert in COVID, and the vaccines put 5G in you.
Oh, the
Uh,
experts.
Right,
Make it
yeah,
laugh.
you're armchair expert, and it's the same for Twitter. Like, you put a link on your tweet and it kills it dead.
Does it really?
Yeah, you have to put it underneath. You have to put it in a separate tweet.
Well, we found this with TikTok. Annette's got a TikTok channel where she opens little mini toys and unboxings and stuff. And a couple of times she's tagged in the maker of the toy.
Kills it dead.
Kills it dead. And I did it once not by accident, but I did it because I was showing her how to use TikTok back in the early days. Now she shows me how to use TikTok. And so Annette had opened this like Transformers toy or whatever. I went, "Why don't you tag in Hasbro or whoever it was that made the toy?" So how do you do that? So I tagged them in. And that video probably got like 100 views that day. And you're like, without a tag, 900.
Yeah.
And she did it last week. She tagged another person in just to sort of give them a shout out in the title. And it got like 150 views. Yeah, all the ones before, all the ones after, similar type toys that she's opening. So it's not like people don't like this, but they like that. The numbers were so low.
Yep. I think social. I was speaking to my wife about this, and I said, "Oh, Stuart and I are going to do a live video blog thing," and she went, "Oh, what's that about?" And I said, "Oh, it's about, is social media dead?" And she went, "Well, it's certainly on the way out."
What's next, though?
Just messaging each other on Messenger, text messages, phone calls.
Going outside, going, "Hi, it's Fraser."
Going
knock,
outside.
Knock, knock. I thought I'd pop round for a brew.
Traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a month off social media a while ago. And I loved it. It was so nice to not have to check it. But I'm in a situation where, for the time being, I have to be on my faithful socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then I'm on the Deaf Whatever, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then I've got the Silly Wee Films one, which encompasses it all: Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Instagram. And I have to be on it to say, here's what we're doing, here's why we're doing it, give us some money. And then when we're not asking for money, it's here's how this is doing, isn't that great? And I will go on, I'll post the thing I need to post, and I'll walk away.
I think it's kind of like, so with interactions, because people used to sort of say, people still do say, and I think you sort of touched upon it a little bit, where social media is toxic. And I get that, and a lot of it is. But if I've got a timeline on I'll just use Twitter as an example. If I've got like you and Rob and Neil on my timelines, and then I just talk to you three, my timeline's fine. There's nobody's coming at me. Nobody's called me a moron. Rob might, Neil might, but that sort of thing. You might. But if I then go off the beaten path and start clicking on the hashtags,
yeah,
that's when you see the toxic side. So I think if you can mentally discipline yourself to go, right, I'm just going to speak to the people that follow me, because if they're an idiot, I'm going to block them.
Yeah.
Or I follow, then social media can be a really nice place. But it's the more, and this is a real problem with Facebook now, where you go on your Facebook dashboard and you see a group like movie fans, and you're like, oh, what are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about how shit DC is. That's not quite like DC. What the hell they go at? And then you'll look and you're like, I'm not even in that group. Well, why'd that pop up on my feed? And it's all these suggested things that pop
Yeah,
up. And that I
yeah,
wish there was a way to switch those off.
because I'm constantly getting fake posters for the Goonies too,
Oh,
or reboots for the Golden Girls that isn't happening.
yeah.
And now I'm getting a lot of like AI girlfriend creator thingies. I'm like, I've never once clicked on
No,
any of this.
no.
Why is that not being recommended to me? I don't understand. And I'm
Yeah.
not on Facebook enough for them to
No.
stag. And Facebook's a hellhole anyway, because like I have lost 2 accounts to Facebook now for no reason whatsoever. They've just locked me out and they're like, prove who you are. Okay, here's a passport to identify myself. Right, well, if it's successful, let you know in 90 days. If it's not
No.
successful, we won't tell you and you'll never get access to your page again.
Wow.
And those Facebook pages were linked to the Cops and Monsters Facebook page that had quite a lot of followers, my wedding video company that I've had to start again. And but the more and more people I see on like LinkedIn, whatever, going, well, I've been locked out of my Facebook and I can't get back in.
Yeah.
For no reason.
And the thing is, it's like you had a month off social media. I had 6 weeks where I was on minimal social media, so I wasn't fully off it. But I kind of enjoyed it. I knew I needed to get back on because of what I
Yeah.
do, and I miss podcasting. That's why I've done like 5 in a week. But I kind of mentally enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just not, and the part I really enjoyed was just not the first thing in the morning looking at people bitching about, oh, looking at Doctor Who runtime episode.
Some
so
shit
what?
like that, yeah.
It's like, who cares? Or why is Stranger Things taking so long? This should be out now. Just get a grip.
Yeah,
It's the experts.
yeah. I'm not going to get into the specifics of why TV takes longer. Because guess what? It does. Because
It's a real sort of the basics of it is because it's very expensive.
It's very
Because there's
expensive.
schedules,
And there's no
because
money.
nowadays TV networks go, if season 1 of such and such doesn't take off, we ain't spending all the money on the second one, so we need to wait till the first one's aired, grab in all the viewing numbers, and see if we're happy. That's where a lot of the streamer ones, Star Wars.
Yeah, but then you get then you get a flip of that, and it goes, well, if it doesn't perform amazingly over the weekend it's released, then we're pulling it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But then I see a lot of people going, okay, I just wish they'd go back to like the more story focused episodes, and I don't mind if the quality isn't the same. I don't need it to be that expensive. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You'd be raging if they put out a program that had the quality of something from 20 years ago.
They'd go mad because they'd be like, and they do with films. Look at when The Flash came out.
Yeah.
And there was people had a lot of different issues about The Flash, but The Flash, a lot of people were like, the CGI was terrible. So what? You should be able to watch a film. What, you mean you actually thought you were watching a real Flash? You thought it was genuine. You knew it was a film. You knew it was crafted. So what if the CGI was a bit ropey for whatever reason in places? Suspend your disbelief and enjoy the film. But nope, they focused on the special effects. You're right about. You released something that looked 20 years ago. Madam Web, they did it. Oh, it looks like something from 2002. And didn't Spider-Man 2 come out around that time? And guess what? You loved that film. So what happened? So yeah.
And now they're enjoying the Phantom Menace and the prequel trilogy now. There's articles going, well, the prequel trilogy is the best. I'm like, this is a parallel universe we're in.
John Fouts and I did what it was like watching the Phantom Menace back in 1999
I saw that
video. Yeah. And it's like I don't remember a lot of people coming out of that going, that sucked, the first one. I'm sure they were there, but the internet was in such infancy. Mm-hmm. There wasn't 57 social media networks. It's probably more than that. Bitching and moaning about Binks.
If you wanted to see the Phantom Menace trailer, you had to go buy tickets to whatever movie it was attached to.
Yeah, it's like The Siege, I think I saw it on. And I remember when it dropped online and you spent about 5 hours downloading this low resolution version.
A quick time file.
Yeah, exactly. I watched that so much. Hello there. Oh my God, he's just like Alec Guinness. This is amazing. I can't wait.
Leaping back to visual effects for a second, because it's important for me to say. There's a YouTube channel called Corridor Crew, and they're a group of visual effects animators in America, and they break down. There's one, not about the Flash specific, but it's like if a producer pays a visual effects person like X amount of money and says you've got a day to do this, and he does it in a day, and then it's a week and a month and like 3 months, whatever, and difference of quality of how, and that's what Disney
Yeah.
and DC and Warner's and Marvel are. They're not giving their animators enough time,
No.
and
And
they've
they're
got
running them into the ground. I mean, if anybody wants running into the ground animation stories, look into the last Spider-Verse film
yeah.
and just
And
read up the news stories of that. And then this is why this next one's taken so long, because they're doing things right, hopefully.
and that's got problems because the lead actor was a bit naughty.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they might replace him, and they can absolutely replace him. It's fine.
Yeah.
If you're naughty, you're naughty. Away you go. But yeah, they ran the animators for that movie into the ground, and that movie looked sensational.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But animators are not given enough time. Now we worked with a guy called Peter Butler on Faithful, and we gave him the time that we needed, but like we raised as much money as we could for him, and he did us favors, and that's the only reason we managed to pull that off, because we're crowdfunding, and that But imagine if we did have Marvel's money to throw at it, it wouldn't have just been one guy; it would have been a team of like 5.
Yeah.
And it would have been a much different story. So just it's like, I get it. The flash effects were not great, but
it didn't make me enjoy the film any less.
No, the story did that.
No, I enjoyed the Flash. Annette and I went to see the Flash because we wanted to watch it, and I do like the Zack Snyderverse. I know he didn't direct that one, but it fits within that world.
Was that
and
not?
we
No,
came
no,
out
that
and we're like, that was a lot of fun, because we just go in, watch the film,
Yeah.
come out. I don't expect every film to be the best film I've ever seen and to be life changing. The internet, a lot of the internet seems to. If like the next Captain America film doesn't change their life and isn't the best thing since Infinity War or Endgame, they're going to burn that thing to the ground, which is just
But
like.
they're also not realizing that cinema has absolutely changed in the sense of you wait 6 weeks and it's going to drop on digital.
Yeah, that's the studios murdering their own business model, isn't it? That's their fault.
People go, well, it's a flop because it didn't make $1 billion in 6 weeks, and you're like, yeah, but you don't comment on the money that it makes after it hits, because The Flash did great on streaming.
Yeah,
whether you liked it or not, that film did well.
And Wicked came out. I mean, Wicked did very well money wise, but they released it onto VOD like within the past couple of weeks, and I'm thinking, well, why are they releasing that early? It turned out in its first week on VOD, it made 70 million. You're like, oh, that's why they've released it on VOD.
Yeah.
So, but they don't report the VOD numbers very often.
No, and it's like Doctor Who viewing figures. They report on the overnights, but they don't report on the 28 days.
Yeah.
When the number is significantly different.
But it's a shame. It's like you get all these people online who claim they're film fans, but they spend all day just trying to destroy everything. And
yeah, I mean,
can't wait. I can't wait to see this flop. Is a line.
I saw that. I saw that for Captain America 4. Can't wait to see it fail. Same with
Snow White, Superman. I can't wait for this to bomb. Why can't you wait for this to bomb?
Why are they so angry at James Gunn?
I don't know, because they loved him with Guardians of the Galaxy. They were like, yeah, we like those films. And now he's like, right, now I'm doing DC. Screw you, James Gunn. Like, what did I do wrong? What?
Is it like a Manchester United player? I'm going to try and reference a sport ball here. Is it like a Manchester United player going to play for Newcastle or something?
Or Celtic going over to Rangers.
Rangers, yeah.
Let's keep it Scottish for it.
Yeah, I was done it, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't know your viewing audience.
It could be. I don't know either.
They probably don't watch football. Is that like? Is that like Andy Murray going to play golf and not? Oh no, wait, he did that.
Is that like Super Bowl with all them trailers? That's pretty much the only reason people watch Super Bowl nowadays is because of the film trailers.
The only reason, although apparently Fantastic Four trailer drops on today in America, Monday in America.
Yeah.
So that'll be later on today at some point, I imagine.
8 million for a 30-second ad. Super Bowl.
Mental.
Please donate to Indiegogo to get Fraser on next year's Super Bowl for Death Whatever for his 30-second trailer.
Or Faithful.
Or Faithful. Yeah, Faithful will be out in the world by then, though.
Is that? Yeah, but we're planning on doing more of that. So
I will. Universities.
There's the Grammys were last night, and I saw a fellow creative that I know, Claire Mundell, who runs Synchronicity in Scotland. Like, she had her first ever Grammy experience because a song that was in her new show, I think it was it's the Outswitch Tattoo Artist, but it's not called that. But it's based on that true story of the tattoo artist in Ipswich, and but someone wrote an original song for it, and it got nominated for a Grammy. So off she went, and I was like, "Oh, Josie Duncan's done an original song for Faithful." So I was like, "Is it too early to nominate Josie Duncan for a Grammy?"
Go for it. Come on, Josie, you can do
But
it. You
I
get a
was
trophy just like
hashtagging the
Fraser.
Grammys 2025, the Grammys, Scotland, Gaelic, all that sort of stuff. Hee-haw traction. Hee-haw.
And then you tweet it out, or you share it out, or you thread it out, or you Blue Sky it out, and go, "Hey, everybody, look at this!" And you don't interact with anybody. So
Do you remember when we were in the first ever MCon and we trended on Twitter for Cops and
Yeah.
Monsters? Those were the days.
I think you can still get that. I think you've just got to copy and paste it into all the different platforms, which is a
Oh,
bit of a
that's
nuisance.
work.
I know there's some dashboards like the Meta dashboard where you can just put it out to about 3, but there needs to be one where you just go, "I'm going to type one message, it goes out to everything." So
But
come on,
yeah,
app developers.
but social is it's an angry, angry place.
I think people are just angry now.
But it makes us, and I feel so hypocritical because here we are just bitching about the people who are bitching. But you and I are genuine fans of TV, film, and books.
Well,
and
I
games.
remember when I got X, which was probably, I don't know, 2012 or something like that, I think. And I remember I put a tweet out, and this guy replied to it, and he was a filmmaker. And there's a guy called Rod Lurie who'd done The Last Castle with James Gandolfini. And then that a couple of days after, Virginia Madsen liked a tweet that I put out. The message, I was as giddy as anything. I'm like, this is the best platform ever. This is insane. And yet, over the years, Tom Cruise follows me. Yes, the genuine account. Oliver Stone, William Friedkin, Tony Todd, the list of McGarris, the list of like famous people who I absolutely adore seeing on screen, who have followed my account, who have interacted with. It's just like mental for a film geek. And you're like, this is the best thing ever. My life is amazing. That seems to have dropped off a lot now because
I remember I met Debbie Moon on Twitter, and at the time I'd done one web series, 90s Day, very low budget, as in no budget, and it went out on YouTube, and it did its thing. And I met Debbie because I heard about this show called Wolf Blood on CBBC, a show about werewolves, and I was like, oh my god, a show about werewolves. And I remember watching the first episode going, this is not just for kids. And I loved it, and I found out who wrote it. I got in touch with Debbie, and we became pals. She asked me to direct her next web series, and she ended up writing for Cops and Monsters. She's now writing for Origins, and she's my mentor, and she helps me. I have a career because of Twitter.
I did loads and loads of Q&A panel. I mean, you and I met on social media.
We did. You supported Cops and Monsters.
So I think there is. We're not here. This episode certainly isn't going to be titled "Social Media Sucks and We Hate It." It's not as much fun as it used to be.
It's not as much fun, and I think that's the problem. It's not fun.
No.
And that's sad. That's really, really sad because it used to be this, and even like as recent as lockdown, which was 5 years ago, which is crazy.
That's mental.
Because my wife and I are coming up for 4 years together in May, and it's just that to me was when the bubble burst, because it's not fun anymore.
It burst after lockdown, like you said.
And when Musk took it over, a lot of people left. Not as many people left.
I lost about 500.
But when Trump got in, when Vice President Trump got in and President Musk got in, there was an absolute, and it will soon be Prime Minister Musk. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There was an exodus on X, and what was really good is that the advertisers went, well, we're not advertising on here anymore because you're a Nazi, and but now they've all come crawling back, and I'm like, oh. And do you get a thing on Twitter where it's like, oh, you'll never believe what this celebrity said when their mic was still on?
I never click on them.
No, ever. I block them. I block them.
Yeah, I block them. I never click on them. I probably spend as much time blocking spam things as I do interacting with genuine people. But there are still a lot of genuine people on social media.
Are.
You just don't know which platform they primarily use now.
All the writers have fled to Blue Sky, and a lot of the big Finnish writers and voiceover actors and producers have all fled over to Blue Sky. And I will go on Blue Sky occasionally, especially when I'm crowdfunding, because you do grab a few.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's not like I don't have the time, because I do. And I'm about to have my wee boy starts nursery tomorrow, so we'll see how that pans out.
Mm-hmm.
So I will find myself with free time. But do I choose that free time getting annoyed at social media, or do I do work?
I mean, part of the work that
As
you
social
do
media.
is the social media type thing, unless you know somebody who can cut and paste the links and stuff. I think
Yeah.
maybe devote half an hour a day or a couple of times a day going right social media. Check out the crowdfunder for death, whatever, blah blah blah. Check out Silly Wee Films.
Yeah.
Type out your tweet or your Facebook message, cut and paste it, blast it into the other profiles,
And
go,
walk away.
I'm done.
Yeah. And it's a shame because I used to really like getting involved in stuff. And
Same.
silly things like, oh, here's a riddle, what's the answer?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. Like, and if you get it wrong, you have to put up a picture of a giraffe. Your profile has to change to a giraffe for a week. Like all that stupid stuff. And we've lost that.
I mean, that would come back if there were less platforms, I think.
Yeah.
I think
And
a lot of people, because I have all the platforms that are listed, but I don't use them in equal time scales.
but I also firmly believe that the current social media trend, like that can't sustain itself.
No.
Like these self-made billionaires, that self-made's a loose term. The billionaires that are running Facebook and Twitter and all that
Mm.
sort of stuff, like that will not sustain.
No.
They'll get bored of that, and someone with more money will come along and offer to buy them off it, and it will just change. And like the more they try and force things on, like that's Facebook trying to do more AI stuff, and people are like the majority of the people are against that. Maybe that's why I'm getting so much bloody AI botness all of a sudden, and it's just like it's. I honestly think it's just going to burst. And it's a shame because it's where you and I, that's the majority of our work. Like you do your
Yeah.
reviews and you meet the people who you're going to like interview, and
We do
films that
this.
you're going to review. We do
Once
this.
this video goes and processes, then that'll be getting shared across all the
Yeah.
platforms, and hopefully
And
people will watch it. And so, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, me or you aren't going. It sucks. It needs to go away. I think if I woke up tomorrow and social media had gone away, a little bit of me would be sad, but
we
then
all thought
also a
Twitter
little
was
bit would be like, well, what else am I going to do? And you just
yeah.
go off and do stuff.
Like we've got such a busy year, and part of that will be promoting it on social media so people know that we're genuine.
Yeah.
In the hope that someone out there goes, I love what they're doing, come do it here.
Yeah.
And it's the same for me and you. Like we're both putting our work out there in the hope that someone sees it and goes, great, I want a bit of that.
Go, hey, I want to hire a publicist or a writer or a producer or something.
So I don't think you and I are going to quit social media.
No.
And there's still a lot of good people out there. I just think people need to calm the fudge down.
I think they do because it's not good for themselves.
No, it's bad for your
right.
heart.
If you wake up in the morning, we'll wrap this up relatively soon because I've got to go out soon. But I think if you wake up in the morning and your first thing is right, I need to go online and tell
And be angry.
how much Doctor Who sucks. That's not good for your own brain or blood pressure or heart speed.
No.
I don't enjoy in the morning waking up, going downstairs, making a coffee, putting the news on. Because the news is always like, you're all gonna. I don't want to know.
No.
Or it's funeral adverts, or do you want to be cremated? I literally just got up after a good night's sleep. For the love of God, show me something about puppies. No, not puppies that get beaten up. No, nice puppies. Show me an Andrex advert.
And you go on YouTube in the morning because I like to watch like the chat show things. Like I like watching Seth Meyers' Closer Look. I like watching a bit of Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, and
I watch Bill Maher. A lot of people don't like him, but
who's the John Oliver? Who's the British guy who went over? I love watching the John Oliver stuff. But I go on YouTube now. The first thing I see is breaking news. Trump does, and I go, no, I don't want to know.
That's what I saw the other day. I saw the press conference that Trump was giving about the air crash, and he went off on his rant. And I said to Annette, I said, I'm not watching him for 4 years.
No,
I can't do it. It's just stressing me out. It's like switch your channel off, and we watched something.
But I'm seeing writer friends of mine who've been told to go over to America to go promote the work, and they're like, "No, I'm not going over. I'm not going over for the next 4 years." And I'm like, "Well, what if that becomes the next 8 years or the next 12? Do you know what I mean?" And someone's like, "Oh, I wouldn't want to fly in their airspace right now anyway." It's like, no, that was an isolated incident. Like something has gone wrong there.
Yeah, of course.
That's not the norm, and I feel really bad because I'm going to California at the end of March. And I'm like, am I wrong for going over? It's
No,
like, no,
not
I
at all.
can't.
It's like, think about it this way, and we'll tie it in with social media. There's lots of toxic people on social media,
Yeah.
lots of idiots and horrible people on social media. But as a good person, should we just go let them have it?
Mm-hmm.
Or should we be in there going, do you know what? Let me show that a good person can survive on social
Yeah.
media. And then maybe other nice people will go, oh, I remember we talked about Madam Web, where I knew somebody who'd seen Madam Web who enjoyed it but didn't want to comment. I think you might have told me the story. They're like, I don't want to say that I liked it because they'll all come get me.
Yeah.
And it's
That,
like, but
that,
if you
that,
don't say you liked it, then somebody else might not go, I'm going to say I liked it. But if you both say it, then there's two and
too.
three and
Well,
four.
it's the whole
And I
thing
don't want to
where
hand it over to the trolls.
no, because the trolls have got a grip where people are on Facebook or whatever saying, "I'm not going to watch this thing until John tells me if he liked it or not."
Yeah.
And I'm like, and oh, people will go watch the Madam Web and it was utter trash. Oh, thank you, you've just saved me 2 hours. Like, go watch it yourself.
Yeah,
Like, you
exactly. Make your own mind up.
Star Trek Section 31, not the highest reviewed Star
It's not
Trek
good
bit of
either.
property.
No, I did a
You,
video on that. It's not
but
good.
yeah, but you watched it yourself. You
I
made up
did.
your own mind.
And I'm not telling you not to watch it. I'm like, you know
Oh,
what, Fraser, I hated it. I don't like it. A lot of
I
problems with
probably
it.
won't watch
Watch it
it.
yourself, and then we'll have another
Yeah,
conversation about what
if I
went
have
wrong.
time, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
But I probably won't have time. And there's other things coming out that
yeah,
I'm
of course.
going to like. It took me so long to find 2 hours to watch Alien Romulus,
I haven't
and
seen Doom Part 1 yet.
I've not even seen Dune Part 1 or 2.
I've got them both on Blu-ray downstairs, and I bought them when they came out. I just haven't been able to schedule 3 hours to just watch that type of movie, like a slow, long-paced one.
But it's just and obviously like people are getting antsy because the reviews haven't dropped for Captain America yet. And another Marvel flop. It's like no, even Wicked's reviews weren't like released
No.
until like the day before,
But so
and
what
people
if
loved.
if a film comes out? I mean, one of my favorite films ever is Meet Joe Black.
Great
Even
film.
Brad Pitt hates that film, and he starred in it. Right? He
It's a
didn't
great.
like it.
It's
He
a
went to the press
great.
tour and bitched about it. I
It's a,
love it. If
it's a great
everybody
film.
hates it, I don't care. I still like it.
Yeah, it's the same with me. I still enjoy Men in Black International. Is it the best Men in Black film? No,
I haven't
but
seen that one, so I shouldn't. I need
it's
to watch
good
that.
because
Yeah,
it's just fun. Like it's just Chris Hemsworth being Chris Hemsworth,
yeah,
and it's got Tessa Thompson in it, who I absolutely adore.
yeah.
Like I love her. She's great in the
She was in,
Apollo films.
was she in? I was going to say she was in Creed,
She's in
wasn't she?
Creed.
That's the first thing I
Yeah,
saw her
yeah,
outside.
yeah, and I love her. She's always and in the Thor films as well, in the Avenger films.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, just make your own mind up, guys. Just
yeah.
make your own mind up.
But just I wouldn't, if you like social media or you like chatting with film geeks or whatever, still go on, still chat to people. My tips would be just don't click on hashtags and don't go into groups that you're not members of,
No.
because that's where you'll find the toxic. Stick to the people who follow you and who you follow, and
Yeah.
it can still be a really nice place. You can chat to movie stars, be nice to them.
And champion people. If you
Yeah,
see something that you do like, whether it's an indie filmmaker
yeah,
or whether it's an indie publicist,
yeah.
then,
Just
then
click a share button. You don't have
yeah,
to
just share
interact.
it.
Just if you see
Click,
a crowdfunding link
yeah,
or an article link or
just
whatever,
share
a
it.
YouTube link, just click the
Champion.
share button and go, do you know what? I've done a nice thing today.
Champion people.
Yes.
Let's make it good again. Let's make it a fun place again.
And if you don't champion, people will troll you. No, we won't. We won't at all.
I'll troll you if you don't
I'll
support me.
I'll block you. But
I'll
yeah,
come
I
after
think
you.
social media is going through a big change. I think you nailed it when you mentioned post-pandemic. I think
Yeah.
towards the end of the pandemic, people got really mad and angry and forgot how to communicate with people.
Yeah. We did. We absolutely forgot how
And
to
that's a
like
problem. But hopefully, people may start getting back to being nice. Hopefully.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. And it's quite easy as well. If you think about being horrible to somebody, just don't type it.
Yeah.
If you're watching this video, for example, you go, these two clowns don't know anything. Think it, fine, that's fine. Don't leave it in the comments section because that's just being a dick.
Yeah, it's fine. Just leave it alone. My dearly departed mother, always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
And I firmly live by that belief. But unfortunately, right wing morons, it's not a nice thing to say, have just absolutely enabled people to say whatever they want to say without consequence.
I mean, I did the Section 31 video last week, and that's probably the first time I've ever done a long video where it's like, I didn't like it, and here, I just, what is this thing?
Yeah.
And I felt uncomfortable doing the video, but I'm like, well, I'm not saying, shit, everybody should be fired.
No.
I'm just like, I don't like it. It doesn't feel like Star Trek to me, blah, blah, blah.
I think it's
But
because
I felt weird doing the video. It's not in my nature to go, didn't like something. Let me talk about it for 40 minutes.
I think it's because it was supposed to be a TV show,
Yeah, it
and
was.
then
Yeah,
there
that's
was
what
all
I said.
there was all sorts of changes, and they tried something and it didn't work.
Well,
And
Michelle
that's
Yeoh
fine.
won an award. You know what happens when people win awards? You know, they
Yeah, yeah.
change, Fraser. They
They
change. Show me
change.
that award again as a closing shot.
Well, that award,
That
award,
one,
right?
yes.
That award right there for
Fraser
Faithful.
Cole award-winning screenwriter.
Luke-
Is it your first award?
We won some stuff for Night's Day during lockdown.
For
Cops and Monsters.
writing?
No, just for the film specifically, and for Cops and Monsters. So this is my first writing award.
It's got to feel pretty damn special, isn't it?
It is, and nothing takes that away. But I've recently found some other people have been nominated for things, and I'm like, oh, well, if you got nominated, then anyone can win.
Oh, so do you think people are looking at you going, Fraser won one? But you
And
won
you know
one.
what?
Don't let
Great.
anybody take that away.
Don't let anyone stop you from winning an award. No, it's a very nice feeling to be recognised in front of your peers.
Yeah.
For something, and it was really funny that it's for a film that isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
So hopefully more awards will come your way.
Yeah, once
the
we get
film's out.
Yep, I'm at Rob's, our sound guy, not your Rob. I'm at the sound guy Rob's. To sorry, Lucy's messaging me something else. I'm off to the sound guys on Wednesday, and we're going to figure things out of getting that sound finished, and then it goes off to Steve, our composer,
Nice.
and then Ewan does a final little tidy up in the edit, and then we're ready, and it'll be March 8th, and then we're off to America at the end of March with it. So,
Nice.
And then we're doing Death Whatever in March as well. Once we get that money in. So,
Well, I will obviously keep in touch with you, but I will also keep in touch with your social media posts.
Yes, and I'll only be posting that sort of stuff. Rumor has it something about Doctor Who is going to drop today or tomorrow. And apparently the fans are going to go into overdrive with their speculating. So
of course they always do. That's social media, and it's the chucking a match in gasoline type.
Yeah, because the studio where it's filmed put up a post like to advertise their studio space, and they're like, "We loved having Doctor Who here in 2024."
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Well, because they're talking past tense, they're like, well, that's Doctor Who cancelled," and you're like, or they're not filming anything until 2026,
probably that.
And the studio needs money, so they need people to come and film things this year.
I think it's the later one. I think it's it'll take a year off for whatever reason.
And it's taken a year.
And it'll be like, oh, it's because of stuff that's not even true.
Yeah, it took people so quickly forget that it took a year off when Peter Capaldi was the Doctor. It took a year off between his second season and third season. So there was the Christmas special, and then there wasn't any Who at all to the following Christmas special.
Yeah.
And then it didn't come back on until later on in the year. And then when Jodie did her first season and it rocketed in viewing figures, the BBC didn't commission it in time. So it took another break for a year, which was a mistake because they should have been capitalising on that straight away. But it didn't go away then. It's not going to go away. It makes too much money for the BBC. So there's no way. It might change, and there might be a change of guard.
It's changed a lot over the years anyway. So.
And in the 62 years of Doctor Who, it's changed a few times.
It has.
So people so I am ready for that onslaught. They're going to drop that Fantastic Four trailer, so that's going to be all over my YouTube with reactions. And it sucks. Oh, it's great. Blah. Oh, you can't have a woman Silver Surfer. It's wokeness gone mad.
Different Silver Surfer. Yeah, we had that conversation, didn't we? And go, well, it's not the Silver Surfer, it's a Silver Surfer.
It is a Silver Surfer who's a woman in the books.
Yeah. Anyway. It's Julia Garner. She's great. If you've not seen her in Ozark, amazing.
Yeah. She's also great in that where she played that Russian woman who pretended she was like this rich model. Can't remember the name of it, but she was great in that as well.
So to the lovely people on social media, you're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. We think you're awesome. To the trolls, screw you. Go away. Go outside and touch some grass. Pretty much. Just go outside. The sun's out where I am. Just go wander. Just leave your phone at home. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So yeah. But yeah, the live thing hopefully it worked. People kept dipping in and dipping out. I'll check the analytics later to see.
Amazing.
How many people actually popped in?
Now that I know how it works.
No, I know how. I didn't know. I went to bed last night thinking, crap, how do I get into the live stream thing to then go live, and I had to Google it this morning. I'm like, oh, that's how. So
In hindsight,
the technology seems to work.
In hindsight, we should have done a test this morning. But hey, it's fine.
This was a test. This was like a 40-odd minute test. So
nice, perfect. Right.
But you enjoy your day, Fraser.
You too. I'm off to work.
Oh wow!
I know. Funny that.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. And I will chat to you soon.
See you in the next one.
Take care.
Bye.